Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Sage here, bringing you peace and wisdom. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about energy vampires, what they are, how to spot them, and how to deal with them essentially, right? Because they're everywhere. So please stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing to my subscribers. If you are not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below and remember to hit that bell notification so that you can get updates when I upload new videos every day. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so first, what is an energy vampire? An energy vampire is someone who is usually a narcissist, a sociopath, or just plain right very selfish. But they don't always have to be. Sometimes energy vampires could be our good friends, you know, who are going through some things, or even our children, and they just rely on us too much. And at the end of interaction with any of these people, you're feeling drained. You're feeling like the life has literally been sucked out of you. You know what I mean? Can you think of a few people off the top of your head? I can. So it's safe to say if you're already naming those people, they're an energy vampire. So stay tuned as we go over how to further identify these people and how to deal with them. So many of us have heard of that saying, that hurt people hurt. Well, energy vampires are hurt people usually, and they have a lot of trauma that they have not yet dealt with, and instead of dealing with that trauma, they find people to inflict that trauma and that sadness upon. Okay, so you may know some people like this, as we were saying, and you may not realize that they are energy vampires, and hopefully after this video you'll realize that, and you'll learn that they're not people that you want to have a big part of in your life. You are an average of the 5 people that you hang around most. So if 3 out of those 5 people are energy vampires, you're going to be depressed. You're more likely to become an energy vampire. You're more likely to be anxious or mad, like angry, you know, have anxiety when you are around mostly energy vampires. One energy vampire is draining. Imagine if your circle is mostly energy vampires. So you need to be able to identify them so that you can live your own life. A lot of the times, an energy vampire, there's certain ones, there's fancy names for all the different types. They're all energy vampires. But some of them love to control you so much that they are living your life. Does that make sense? There's things you want to do, but they'll always be like, oh, well, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or I don't want you to do that. Or they'll just manipulate you to make you think it's your decision to not do what it is you want to do. And then ultimately you're stuck feeling depressed or sad, and you won't even know why. You won't understand why, because they constantly manipulate your thoughts, and you don't realize that you are so controlled that you can't even think for yourself anymore right now. So it's important to remember that even though these people are hurt or going, you know, through trauma or something of that source that they are dealing with internally, it's not your job to fix them. It's their job to fix themselves. You cannot change someone's mentality in their brain if they're not willing to change it. If they are not willing to identify the problem, take ownership of the problem, and change themselves from within, you're not going to be able to change them just with hopes and wishes, right? You have to really just distance yourself is the best way. So how do we spot energy vampires? There's so many different ways, but I'm just gonna break down a few ways to spot them so that you can know when you're in their presence. Okay, so number 1, the very first one is a narcissist, right? A narcissist or a sociopath, that's the very first sign that they're gonna be an energy vampire. 2, people who bathe in self-pity. They blame other people for their life going wrong and they refuse to take responsibility. They are going to be energy vampires because every time you try to give them advice or, direction in their life, they're going to give you an excuse. They're going to go back and do what they know they should not be doing. They're going to basically dismiss you when you would have felt like crap because you give them all this advice, all your love, all your attention, a thoughtful response, just for them to be like, yeah, but, or yeah, okay, I'll do that. But then they go right back to where they were because they're not dealing with their inner demons. They're just expecting to keep venting to you because you make them feel good, but they're not giving you anything to replenish and make yourself feel good, right? So you want to limit your exposure with them as well. Okay, so next is the manipulators, controllers, button pushers, those people who are constantly looking to start some drama, stir up your emotions, make you feel some kind of way. They constantly just create drama. There are people where you're like, oh, every time I go to this person, it's some kind of argument or they're into some kind of crap that they're dragging me into, and I don't want to be in that crap, but here I am vacuumed in, yeah. You distance yourself from any energy vampires, in any of them, really. That's just number one, okay? Next, so people who are too judgmental. We're all judgy, right? We're all some form of judgmental. It's just us as a human, when we see people who are different than us and our values and views. But people who constantly judge you and make you feel like crap about yourself and your decisions and the things that you make, they are energy vampires. People where you're like, oh, I don't want to tell this person that I lost my job because they're going to make me feel like crap. I don't want to tell this person that I'm pregnant again. I don't want to tell this person that, that I'm getting another divorce. I don't want to tell this those people who you're just like, you avoid telling them anything at any cost because you're not going to get the response that you're looking for. It's not going to be helpful. It's just going to make you feel more like crap. They are an energy vampire. And this person is usually like a family member or, like someone close to you is usually this type of person because they're the only ones who know you enough to judge you where it matters, right? Because someone walking down the street, you don't care about their opinion, but someone that you actually know and trust, that hurts a little bit more when they're being rude or harsh or unforgiving in your downfall. So next are people who try to control you by feeding off your emotions and your fears and those things like your secrets. People who know your secrets, know those little bitty things that make you tick, that make you hurt, and they go there. They go there and they just try and snap you in half, People like if you have to borrow someone's car to get to work and they will, and they know this and all of a sudden they will be like, they'll have a whole nother plan and you're like, well, I need the car because I have to get to work. And they're like, well, if you need the car, then I'm gonna need something that was not a part of the agreement, because they know that you have to get to work. They know that it's something you need and they're going to do whatever they can to get what they want, whether it was a part of the agreement or not. And last but not least, I said this one in the beginning. This one is more subtle. You may have a harder time identifying this one, but it can be a close friend or family member or your child or your parent, something like that. I guess those are family members. But they are the needy ones. Needy people are energy vampires too, even though you may love them, but you may have done too much for them in the past and they've become reliant and dependent on you, and they will make you feel bad about telling them no or telling them that you don't have time to do their errands or something of the sort. And that is very draining. People who constantly need you to do something that they can 100% do themselves. So what do we do? How do we deal with these energy vampires? First thing you want to do is set boundaries. You have to set boundaries for yourself, what you're going to take and what you're not going to take, and when you're going to put a stop to it, when you're going to say, you know, this line, don't cross it, you just crossed it. And you want to make sure that this person knows that you have boundaries and that you're gonna stick to them. That is the easiest way to just shut down energy vampire with boundaries. They'll be coming at you and you're just like, no. And then they're gonna go away. You know, the narcissistic ones are gonna keep on poking at you, and that leads us to our next point. You need to limit your time with them. Some of them just need to kick them out of your life altogether. So it may be hard to do with family, but in those cases, you need to really just limit yourself. You are not obligated to be with anybody that makes you unhappy, that makes you feel bad, that is a bad person or an energy vampire, just because of the title of who they are to you. You know, there's parents who are not good parents, brothers who are not good brothers and sisters, and there are people who are bad for you even though they're blood to you. You know what I mean? And you need to have that discernment in your heart, in your mind, and for yourself to take care of yourself and distance yourself from them. Next, you want to find a quiet place to recharge, or a quiet, solitary activity that you can do that makes you happy. So whether it's exercise, swimming, hiking, video games, gardening, reading, meditation, whatever gets your energy back high, you need a place to do that every day. You should be recharging every day, because energy vampires are everywhere. Like even people at work, you can work with energy vampires. What you know, what are you gonna do about that? You always see them. So you need to recharge, you know, daily. It's very important. So you need a special place, special time. It's yourself. If you can't find 15 minutes to yourself, then you're not prioritizing. You should be the number one priority, because when you're no good to nobody else. Okay, so that's all that I have for you guys. I hope that this helped you, that you can now identify energy vampires and you know what to do and how to deal with them. Stay tuned for my gratitude 3. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe so you can get more videos like this, and like and comment. I love to hear your comments below. And yeah, here are my 3. So 1, I'm grateful that my baby took a couple first steps today. I am grateful that I got off work a little bit early and I was able to do some things I needed to do at home. And I am grateful that tonight I get to go to bed before 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So with that being said, I'm gonna head to bed. Tune in tomorrow for your daily 3. Bye, love you.